Don't tell me you didn't think I'd be back. I always come back like a bad check. My friends, welcome. Howard Riell, Riell Truth. Brand new week. Happy Martin Luther King Day. Speaking of which, item from InfoWars. Martin Luther King Jr. would have marched for President Trump's impeachment, according to Representative Maxine Waters, Democrat, California. Quote, Martin Luther King would have encouraged every responsible human being to march for justice, to march for peace, and most of all, to march for the impeachment of Donald Trump, she tweeted on Monday. However, Martin Luther King's own niece, Alveda King, made comments over the weekend that completely reject Waters' unfounded remarks. Quote, racism is just the word that's being bandied about and thrown at the president unjustly, said King on Saturday. President Trump is not a racist. King continued saying it was, quote, outrageous to call a man a racist who continues to acknowledge the significance of Dr. Martin Luther King. Reverend King, my uncle, in a positive way, puts his energy where his mouth is. He puts his energy behind it. King has made supportive comments about Trump in the past, calling him compassionate and a brilliant man. The president, of course, is leading the charge for civil rights today for the little unborn persons in the womb who have a right to live, she said in July. We don't have to defend the president. I believe President Trump might agree that we are defending America. He's leading the charge, and we are supporting him. Unquote. It's worth noting Maxine Waters called for Trump's impeachment 4 days before he was actually sworn in. So, my friends, you tuned into the show for some real truth. I won't disappoint you. Here's some real truth. Maxine Waters is a crazed hag. She's loony. The only reason she sits in a legislative body today, the only reason she ever got elected anything, is that she screams racism at the top of her lungs. She has played the race card so often that the R has rubbed off. She's been screeching about Donald Trump since before he became president. If she had an IQ over 30, she would realize Donald Trump has done more for African Americans in less than a year than Barack Obama did in 8 years. If she had half a brain, she would shut her mouth. But then again, my friends, if she had half a brain, she would be a lifelong Democrat. And she wouldn't be sitting in the Democratic Party. And she wouldn't be screaming race every 11 and a half seconds. Maxine Waters is a disaster, start to finish. And the sooner she retires, the better off the Democrat Party will be. The better her constituents will be, the better America will be. Donald Trump is doing a fantastic job as president. And if Maxine Waters and the Democrats don't like what he's doing, it must be because they don't want fantastic things done for the American people. Democrats want great things done for the government so that people will be dependent on the government. That's what the Democrats do. That's their platform. That's their way of life. That's their MO. Which is why we'd better not vote for Democrats ever again. Now that Donald Trump has come around to give us back our government, let's not be stupid enough to give it back to the bad guys.
And I would like to encourage everyone to make sure we are prepared financially, that the Federal Reserve continues to destroy the value of the dollar. Since the closing of the gold window in 1971, the Federal Reserve has led the way in the explosion of debt and the devaluing of your money. They openly say that the 2% inflation, which simply means they hope to devalue your money, and they want to do this every single year, year after year. I know it's hard to understand, but the Federal Reserve prosperity through debt and growth via the devaluation of your future. To learn more about how to protect yourself, visit us at allamericangold.com or call us at 800-951-0592 and protect yourself against the devaluing of your money.
Are you trying to be able to damage summer storms, higher liquidating funds to get your vehicle repaired? Visit 541-0679. That's 970-541-0679 or look us up at visionco.com.
This farm report brought to you by Nissan Titan. Forward-thinking ag producers in Colorado are doing their best to keep nutrients out of wet springs to help improve water quality. The Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment and the Department of Ag announced the release of Colorado Ag Water Quality, an outreach project of extension. More can be found at coloradoagnutrients.org. The all-new 2017 Nissan Titan, the heavy-duty truck. Shop ChooseNissan.com.
All right, my friends, welcome back to Riell Truth. Howard Riell, brand new week. If you want to start with some good news, I'm game. Let's do it. If you're like me, when Donald Trump was running for president, you were up there chanting, "Lock her up." Well, the good news is we may actually be coming closer to locking her up. Here's Judge Jeanine Pirro on Fox News.
It's our first show in 2018. We've been with justice so much in the past or any of the past 6 years.
My friends, what I want to know is this. How come when Bill was president and when Hillary was in the Senate and then was Secretary of State, people loved the Clinton Foundation and sent it tens if not hundreds of millions of dollars for the good work they do? And now that Hillary's not Secretary of State anymore and she lost the election, suddenly there's no more money coming in. If I were a cynic, I would say the money only came in ever as a pay-to-play scheme to buy influence. But of course, I'm not that cynical. Are you?
And the Word became flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory, the glory as of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. John bore witness of him and cried out, saying, This was he of whom I said, He who comes after me is preferred before me, for he was before me. The Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 14 and 15. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just power from the consent of the governed. This is the American News Network. The American Freedom Network is not funded or supported by special interest groups or government programs. The American Freedom Network is not sponsored by advertisers demanding content or programming control. The American Freedom Network is solely funded by you, the listeners. Please help keep the American Freedom Network on the air by purchasing one of our sponsors' fine products or by calling 1-800-205-6245 to make a donation. The American Freedom Network needs your help. American Window Tinting Incorporated in Franktown reminds parents, keep an eye on your child while shopping. Children tend to stray or become lost. This poses an opportunity for a would-be abductor. Please make every effort to keep track of your little ones at all times. If you have information regarding a lost child, call local authorities at once. This message is from American Window Tinting Incorporated in Franktown. For residential or commercial window tinting, call 303-263-4228.
All right, guys, welcome back. Everybody's in a heat to get this DACA deal done. I'm trying to figure out why. Why? We have people here illegally. Common sense says they must leave. That's where the Democrats and the liberal Republicans come in. They don't want the DACA kids to leave because when things go wrong in America, they benefit. Here's Laura Ingraham. Laura Ingraham Show, Fox News, among her guests, Ann Coulter, talking about Donald Trump, DACA, and more. Here we go.
Ann Coulter, I want to go to you. Do they think the president, they must think the president is stupid. They're going to walk into this meeting and tell the president Trump on everything. President Trump, and he was trashing him. And he was, I don't think I'm Mr. President, we're going to increase immigration and do all we can to keep it. Yes, and as you say, he's so popular in his own state, he can't lose the election. Even politicians, they are.
Only one side wants to know the facts. She's right, my friends. One side is composed of intelligent adults who want to make decisions based on logic and common sense. The other side is comprised of children who feel instead of think. That is the blade on the Adam's apple of America. People who don't think, don't want to think, don't want to know, aren't interested in facts, they just want to feel better. That's what'll kill America. Yeah, I know. North Korea, nuclear weapons. Iran, nuclear weapons. China, Russia, yeah, I get all that. But what will kill America more than anything else, because it's already killing America, is liberalism, which doesn't want to be bothered with facts. Don't bother me with information. Don't pull logic on me, because I feel like what I'm doing is right. And because what I feel is right, if you try and stop me, I'll destroy you. That's the liberal mindset.
Story coming out tomorrow specifically about Arizona. Jonathan, who has the president's ear on immigration in the White House? Stephen Miller is
Now, my friends, Donald Trump had the temerity to suggest that those three nations are, I'm not going to use the word that it's alleged he used, but that they're garbage countries with garbage cultures who add nothing positive to the planet Earth. My friends, the most terrible thing about what the president allegedly said is that it's completely true. All those countries are garbage. Nothing racial about that. I'm looking at crime. I'm looking at poverty. I'm looking at corruption. I'm looking at people living in filth. I'm seeing countries unable to get themselves up on their own feet after decades and decades. And the people who come here from those countries are in large part criminals. Democrats feign anger. They make believe they're angry about certain things, but other things really do make them angry. Things that are true. When you speak the truth, Democrats get angry because they have no defense against the truth.
CNN completely.
My friends, here is where Fox goes wrong. I'm so glad that Laura Ingraham is doing this. The fake news media like CNN, MSNBC, they will go out there and say things that are lies. Well, that's bad enough. But then Fox News will play those lies on their shows, thereby serving as an echo chamber for those very lies. And I wish Fox would get smarter about this. I don't watch CNN because I know they tell outrageous lies. Well, then along comes Fox and plays clips of CNN telling those outrageous lies. Why the hell do that? Tell me what CNN said. Show me it's a lie. I don't need to watch it. You're broadcasting. Anybody clicking through the channels who happens to tune in at that moment will only hear the lie. Why repeat lies? I wish I had some sway at Fox News. I would get them to stop doing that. It is as annoying as hell.
The black hole countries, because he said that, the Cuban and Acosta, the right wing, Right, and don't change the channel because we'll miss you.
Exactly right. Exactly correct. However expensive you're going to tell me the wall is, I guarantee you we're going to spend much more than that dealing with illegal immigrants who come here, dealing with illegal drugs that come here, dealing with diseases that come here. So the wall is a bargain according to anyone's estimation. We'll be right back.
Are you driving a vehicle with self-damage or storm, tired of waiting months to get your vehicle repaired? Then Vision specializes in painless dent and nail repair. And unlike traditional body shops, Dent Vision gets your vehicle back to you in days, not weeks. Insurance approved top quality repairs with lifetime warranty. Call today for your immediate appointment. 970-541-0679. That's 970-541-0679. Or look us up at DentVisionStudio.com.
Now, this is the question to give John, Jews sent frequently by from Jerusalem to ask him, "Who are you?" He confessed and not denied, but confessed, "I am not the Messiah." And they asked him, "What then? Are you Elijah?" He said, "I am not." "Are you the prophet?" And he answered, "No." The Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 19 through 21. No one anywhere is more noble, righteous, ethical, courageous than our United States Armed Forces. These brave men and women of their families put the bill for our freedom every day in the military. our Walmart Supercenter on Highway 287 in Lafayette. They're on the air because they care. Using the blocker plan reminds us that the drug problem is well documented. We know our kids will be approached at therapy. We want to applaud the youngsters in our community who have had the strength to say no to drugs. They provide examples for the kids and families to be the best they can be. That's promoted with the blocker plan located at 360 serving our area since 1943, specializing in natural HD and for custom process. Call 303-688-2240. That's 303-688-2240. The United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, to ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. This one report brought to you by Nissan Titan. Colorado Department of Agriculture has released the updated list of pesticides that can be used on Canada. To view the updated list, go to the Colorado Department of Agriculture website. There are several PDF files. And if you have questions, you can contact Warren Blackenbush at 303-869-9060. Take on the unexpected with Nissan's available intelligent safety shield technology, innovation that excites.
All right, guys, welcome back. Howard Riell, Riell Truth. I have got special just for you, because I love you. I've got Jesse Waters on Fox News, special guest. You got it, Ann Coulter. Here we go. Here we go.
I always imagine with him, asking why the ice is like, they must be sitting in back in ice and saying,
My friends, listen to me. Please listen to me. What Ann Coulter is describing is absolutely correct. It's the way that immigration has been handled in this country for decades, and we've got to ask why. The reason why, I'll cut right to the chase, because politicians don't want what's best for Americans. They want what's best for their political parties and themselves. Which is why it is monumental that we picked as president someone who's not a politician. We have a president who wants what's best for us, for Americans. Do the people jumping up and down, Donald Trump said this, Donald Trump said that, do the people stop and think for a second that Donald Trump has taken the levers of power away from the hack politicians who sell us out, who steal from us, who take away our freedoms? Trump is stopping that. He's draining the swamp. So if you're yelling about Donald Trump, you got two choices. Either you are part of the swamp, or you want the swamp to flourish, for reasons known only to your psychiatrist, or two, you are as dense as rock. However you stand on immigration. Maybe you want the country flooded with illegal immigrants. Maybe you want crime to continue to go up. Maybe you want taxes to be raised. Maybe you want America to be weaker and less secure. Well, if that's the case, I don't know what the hell you're doing living here in America. You obviously don't like it very much, and you don't want what's best for it. But the fact that Donald Trump is giving the power back to the people, taking it away from the phony, baloney, scam artist politicians, just that fact alone should win Trump the admiration and support of everyone who doesn't want America destroyed. If you want America to do well in the years to come, you must support Trump. Everything he's done, from revving up the economy to putting a rock-solid conservative on the Supreme Court, to cutting taxes, to bringing in companies, to creating 2 million jobs, on and on and on and on. Everything Trump's done has been good for America and Americans. Now, if you're opposed to that, you sound an awful lot like an enemy of America. And if you hate America that much that you want to see it brought low and ultimately destroyed, there are other countries in the world. Pick one. Go there. Bless them with your presence and your patriotic fervor. You know, they say you're either living or you're dying. America has been dying for years. Donald Trump is putting the brakes on, and he's stopping it. And he's turning us back in a positive, wholesome direction. And liberals can't help but go crazy. Almost like liberals hate America. Hate Americans. In fact, they do. So liberals, I invite you, buy yourselves a plane ticket, one way of course, and go somewhere. If you dislike America that much, find a country that you like. Go there. Stay there. Unless you don't care what happens to your children and grandchildren. All right, we'll take a break and we'll come back, my friends. More Real Truth. Just think of me as a travel agent for those who hate. We'll be back.
And of his fullness we have all received, and grace for grace. For the law was given through Moses, but grace and truth came through Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus the Christ. No one has seen God at any time. The only begotten Son, who is in the bosom of the Father, he has declared him. The Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 16. Michelob's restaurant in Denver reminds us that over 750,000 children were reported missing last year. Over 58,000 of these were abducted by non-family members. Keep an eye out for youngsters at play, and if you see anyone suspicious, contact the authorities immediately. This has a particular press on it. It not only best the town and the people who care. Give him a call at 303-757-5166. 757-5166. Chaplain Collins LLC is our emergency first responders who make professional commitment to breathe. They're willing to put their lives on the line for us with little or no thanks. So let's all take the time to thank our first responders for all they do for us. Also thanking our veterans for the sacrifice they made for our freedom. This message is from Chaplain Collins LLC, with 10 locations in Denver and Fort Collins, serving the community for over 13 years. Visit them online at chaplaincollins.com. Article 4. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall be issued but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the places to be searched and the persons or things to be seized.
All right, guys, we are back. Let me ask you a question. Do you have young children? Do the children go to school? Does your child have a best friend? If your child has a best friend, liberal school administrators want to punish him or her. Because having a good best friend is wrong. According to, liberal nitwits. Here's Tucker Carlson exploring liberal nitwits.
Well, it's natural and healthy to have.
But if a child is not feeling right, if they're bothered by something, won't they naturally seek out a best friend for help with it, to talk about it? Here, you're taking away that avenue of redress.
Magic place here is actually someplace in the middle.
Well, why would the magic place just be stay out of it and kind of teach like English?
I totally hear what you're saying. Many schools now have no tolerance for bullying policy on their books. Most of your private schools. So it's a way to encourage children to be nice to each other. It's a way to encourage manners. A lot of children learn that.
I'm totally completely for tolerance and good manners.
My friends, I seem to remember a time long, long, long ago when kids were taught those things by, what are they called again? All right, yeah, oh yeah, parents. When did government schools take the place of mommy and daddy?
But it does seem like
So you see, everybody gets a trophy. We don't keep score, so no one wins or loses. Everyone gets a participation trophy. Isn't that a system that's worked so very well so far? Well, here's why. Because teachers almost 100% are liberal. They don't want to be bothered with facts. Are you kidding me? They're not interested in facts. They are superior people, more moral than the rest of us, and so they feel a duty to share those morals with others. Now, they choose children because children are defenseless. If they tried to share their morals... I just got disconnected. I just got disconnected on the phone. That's why I'm dialing. Unbelievable.
You're back on.
All right, I'm back. All right, guys, we're about to hit a commercial break. Let's squeeze in a little bit of news. Thank you, Tucker Carlson. Item from Pitchfork.com last February, following the presidential inauguration of Donald Trump, the singer Moby posted on social media claiming to have insider information on connections between the Trump administration and Russia. The producer/DJ said that, quote, after talking to friends in D.C., he had allegedly learned that the Fusion GPS dossier was 100% real and the government was blackmailing the president. Now, in a new interview with WFPK in Louisville, Kentucky, Moby has doubled down on his claims. Talking with WFPK's Carl Meredith, Moby cited active and former CIA agents who were truly concerned about Trump's collusion with Russia. Quote, they were like, this is the Manchurian candidate, like Putin as a Russian agent as president of the United States. So they passed on some information to me and they said, hey, look, you have more of a social media following than any of us do. Can you please post some of these things just in a way that sort of puts it out there? He added, it's really disturbing. It's going to be quite a lot darker, like the depths of the Trump family in business, unquote. My friends, the CIA sought out a popular singer to get him to put their anti-Trump propaganda on social media. The CIA is seeking to bend social media to their way of thinking. They've got an agenda and they want to infuse it, want to pollute social media with it. It's disgusting. It's the deep state, it's the swamp, and it must be drained. We'll be back.
By this itself, the spirit of God, and the spirit that confesses that Yeshua, Jesus, has come in the flesh, is of God, and every spirit that does not confess that Yeshua, Jesus, has come in the flesh, is not of God. And this is the spirit of the Antichrist, which you have already heard is coming, and is now already in the world. John 4:1.
No state shall enter into any treaty, alliance, or confederation, grant letters of marque or reprisal, coin money, emit bills of credit, make anything but gold and silver coin a debt, pass bill of attainder, ex post facto law, or law impairing the obligation of contracts, or grant any title of nobility. Article 1, Section 10. If catastrophe struck, will your family be prepared? Are you confident you can react in a panic? Is there one place to get all of your emergency supplies? Paris Survival encourages you to have confidence through preparation, not panic through crisis. Paris Survival, located at 3366 South Broadway, is a professional, reputable, full-service business providing quality, realistic preparedness supplies at an affordable price. Go online, stop by, or call 303-781-0343. Paris Survival. The American Freedom is not funded or supported by special interest groups or government programs. Network is not sponsored by advertisers demanding content or programming control. The American Freedom Network is solely funded by you, the listener. Please help keep the American Freedom Network on the air by purchasing one of our sponsored fine products or by calling 1-800-205-6245 to make a donation. The American Freedom Network needs your help.
All right, guys, welcome back. Howard Riell Truth. Item from Project Veritas. Project Veritas has released undercover footage of Twitter engineers and employees admitting that Twitter employees view all of your private messages on their servers and analyze them to create a, quote, virtual profile of you, which they sell to advertisers. The footage features 4 current Twitter software engineers, Conrado Miranda, Clay Haynes, Pranay Singh, and Mihai Alexandru Floria. Hayes, who is featured in part 1 of the Twitter expose, admitted in a January 6, 2018 meeting that Twitter has hired hundreds of employees with the express purpose looking at these, quote, blank pics. My friends, the blank refers to part of the male anatomy. Quote, there's teams dedicated to it. I mean, we're talking 3 or 4, at least 300 or 400 people. Yes, they're paid to look at blank pics. Now, my friends, originally I selected this news item to talk about the ways in which Twitter is spying on America. And that's a big deal. Let me talk about a different big deal. They've got hundreds of people looking at pictures of men sending photos of their genitalia. Which leads me to a question. Why are men sending people photos of their genitalia? Who said that was a good thing to do? Who said it was a right thing to do? Who said it's an acceptable thing to do? And who said that you're a decent person if you do that? I would think you were a pervert if you sent someone a picture of your genitalia. I would ask myself, what's wrong with me? What is weighing on your mind? What is wrong with your thought process that you think that is a good idea? I understand from people in the media that this is really trendy now. People enjoy doing it. That may be one of the sorriest commentaries on our society that I've talked about in a long time. Item from MSN.com. Representative Martha McSally called on the national GOP to, quote, grow a pair of ovaries, unquote, as she launched her Senate bid on Friday, joining the race to replace retiring GOP Senator Jeff Flake by embracing President Donald Trump and his outsider playbook in one of the nation's premier contests, unquote. My friends, Jeff Flake has been a disaster. He is an asswipe. He is a rhino. Thank God he's leaving. If we can replace him with a rock-ribbed conservative like Martha McSally or Sheriff Joe Arpaio, America can only benefit from that. My friends, when I talk about decency on this show, no doubt there are people out there thinking, what a prude, what's wrong with Riell? Nothing wrong with Riell. There's something very wrong with an awful lot of people here in America who do stuff like send photos of their junk to other people. It is a low-down thing to do. It is a classless thing to do. It's rude, crude, lewd. And if you have done it, or if you're thinking of doing it, or if you think, it's not such a bad thing to do, listen to me, and I say this in all seriousness, get yourself some therapy. Could be a psychologist, could be a psychiatrist, could be a social worker. Sit down and talk about this. Find out what's wrong with your head and set about fixing it. I'll be back tomorrow with more Riell Truth. Happy Martin Luther King Day.